Hey yo, what's going on, you guys? So we've got another DC Mcfarlane multiverse review here, and it actually I don't want to spoil the last video of the year. It's not like some big grand thing, but it's just a little fun for me. But the next and final review of the year will be a DC Mcfarlane multiverse review. Which I actually went back and I was like, hey, what review did I start off with this year? And I'm pretty sure if I go, yeah, it was the Black Lightning action figure. And so starting and ending with DC. But anyway, let's get into the review here. So we were reviewing DC McFarlane Multiverse Batman Beyond, but specifically Batman Beyond Neo Gothic. There's the storyline. There's the box. And on the back, you got an artwork there. Looking pretty cool. And before we get into the action figure himself, of course, obviously, I'll have to show him in all his glory. I mean, he just cuts a presence, man. I've recent McFarlane figures that I've gotten, I've just had a lot of fun with, and I don't know if it's just like the increase in quality, maybe, or I mean, I've never really had a problem with their quality, but I just had a lot of fun. And of course, there's other ones where that's biased because there's certain characters that I like more than others, like Nightwing, for example. But anyway, so let's review his accessories. So we'll get the boring ones out of the way. He comes with a normal McFarlane stand. I will say this is one thing I want to discuss. Now, I like the fact that he does give stands for his action figures. But honestly, what annoys me, especially with a character like Batman Beyond, who literally has wings, that they don't give them a flight stand. They used to give action figures flight stands. I don't know if they still do for McFarlane, but I remember some of his early characters would get flight stands. And I mean, granted, they're not like the best flight stands in the world or anything, but it was just nice to have, especially for someone like me who, maybe doesn't have all the money in the world to go and get 100 different flight stands or whatever. So, but anyway, moving on here. That's neither here or there. Then here is his card here on the back. That's a real name, Terry McGinnis. Terry McGinnis defeated the evil AI controlling Neo Gotham and asserted himself as the one true Batman. But his next battle will bring him to the remains of old Gotham. Children are going missing and being swallowed by the city's old bones. Batman Beyond will have to go underground, led by a mysterious splicer named Kyle the Catboy, to find the children and confront the city's buried sins. So, I don't know the storyline. I never read this storyline. I do have a Batman Beyond comic. I think it's called Neo Year. And obviously, I'm very familiar with Batman Beyond. Now, obviously, I didn't watch the series growing up, but I watched a lot of clips of it on YouTube growing up of Batman Beyond. And obviously, this isn't necessarily that exact suit, but when that initially did come out, I missed out on it. And for me, you guys know me, as long as it looks like the character enough to where I can look at him and be like, hey, that's that character, that's all that matters to me. So, let's take a look at Mr. McGinnis here. So, starting off with the head sculpt. Now, this design, I will say I have noticed, goes with the longer ears, and I really like it for this look. Oh, come on. Go back into focus. Now, they kind of grade out the mouth area, so it's not like completely painted over in black. And he's got a smirk, but if you pose him like in the right light, you know, that's almost menacing, you know. So I really enjoy that. I really like the head sculpt. Let's talk about the wings second here. So they can move that far down and that far up. They can't like move in and out or anything, and they are permanently attached to them as far as I can tell. For me, that's fine. It is something that I wish was maybe an option to take them off, but um, I also am like, man, oh, and that's interesting. I don't know if it's just like how it actually is supposed to be, but this one, well, it was doing it a second ago. It would kind of go down to here. So I guess this right here, this angle that I have it at right now is, I guess, the preferred angle to have it at. But then you've got the awesome red with a little bit of orange. On camera, it shows to be more orange than it actually is. But and you got, he's painted all in black because he's Batman. But you got little red highlights and, sculpting on the body here. So, oh, well, we were doing his accessories. Let's get into the ones that actually probably matter a little more. There's only two. It's a set of hands. He comes with a open hand, almost kind of like he's, aiming, because he's got a Batarang holding hand. It's not as iconic as circular Batarangs. I don't know if he's used these type of Batarangs before, if you can actually see it, of course, but it's almost like he's about to throw it, so he splays out his hand and then he throws it. But honestly, the set of hands that I would have preferred would be fists. That's my thing. You guys know me. For a lot of superheroes, I always, if they don't have them, I will always request fists, because most superheroes use their fists. That's why, like with that Superman action figure that I have, I'm not upset that it doesn't have like a flying hands or relaxed hands, because for me, the fists do a lot of kind of the work for me for different poses and stuff like that. So, and if I'm doing it, especially with fighting, then I know he actually has fists to fight with. But anyway, back to this. So, and actually the mouth, if you look at it, the lips and, well, at least the lips are sculpted, and you can actually see a split between the two parts of the jaw there, which is actually kind of neat. But you got the gauntlets here and red highlights on the fingertips. So let's get into articulation. So his head only goes up about that far. Now, if you use the articulation in the torso, you can get it higher. You can look side to side. You got tilt. You can look down that far. Then, of course, the typical torso movement. You got a joint up here and a joint in the lower torso. So combined, you can go that far back, about that far forward, tilt, and swivel. So yeah, if you get it not super far back, but far enough, you get a pretty good flight pose. But for the most part, his head actually, it doesn't go as far up as you might want it to, but it actually works. You got the typical, he's got the typical Mcfarlane joint, but it's not as movable here. And then he's got double jointed elbows, and he's got a wrist swivel and a hinge. His legs can kick up that far. They can kick back about that far. A little bit of movement up at the thigh. Double jointed knees. His foot swivels. Goes down. Goes up. And he's got ankle pivot. And of course, toe articulation. So I imagine that if you have, I know that like I think the previous Batman Beyond came with like flight effects for like the bottom of his feet. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's been a long time since that one came out. So, but like if you have like Batwing, You could probably use the the jet booster things from his feet on Terry here, although the color wouldn't necessarily be the exact color, because I think his is a blue flame and Terry's would obviously need to be an orange flame. So let me get, I'm going to try to get the wings down as much as possible so we can do comparisons. Now, Batman Beyond universe obviously mainly focuses around Batman Beyond. So what I decided to do is I'm just going to compare him to characters that make the most sense to compare him to, for, especially if you're doing multiverse travel and stuff like that. So I figured, hey, let's do old versus new type stuff. I figured I would do one of the Batmans I have, but we'll go with the Batman that's supposed to be creating the original look all the way back in the day, and the Batman that I am using for my Bat family, because I don't care, it's my collection. It's my suggestion to people. If your brain needs it to be a certain way, then go with that way. But if you like it the way it is, then there you go. Now, appropriately, Bruce is, at least at this age, Bruce is taller than Terry. So, yeah, it's actually kind of cool seeing like super futuristic, and then oh well, I didn't mean to knock you guys down here. Super realistic, and then super, old or old inspired. It's kind of interesting. So, and then I figured I'd compare him. I mean, I have him posed up right now, but I don't care. I'd compare him to my favorite DC superhero and favorite Bat family member, Nightwing. So, look really cool together. So if you want to do that type of team up. And then I figured, hey, why not? I have him lying around. Here he is next to the gold label Green Lantern. So again, if you wanted to do multiverse stuff, you can do that. It would be neat if they did the Justice League from the future that appeared in the show, because I think it'd just be really fun to see how they would do that. But anyway, but yeah, I love Batman Beyond. Like I said, he played a part in my childhood in the sense that I saw a lot of cool clips of him growing up. So it was like, oh wow, this guy's really awesome, and it was just, I really loved Terry McGinnis once I learned about him. So but yeah, obviously this is a specific look. I know that it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it looks like Batman Beyond to me, and that's all that kind of matters for me. So, like I said, you'll be getting one more review tomorrow. Well, obviously not one last review of all time, but one last review of 2024. Again, I do apologize. I wish we were ending in a actual, better recording, area. But here we are. Just how it is for right now. But one day, and you will obviously notice the change. So, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, like, share, and subscribe. And sometimes I ask you guys questions. I mean, yeah, I don't really have one for this time. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.